Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving deep into the surprisingly perilous world of files. The article we're discussing, Files Are Fraught with Peril, exposes the hidden complexities and potential for data corruption lurking beneath the seemingly simple act of writing to a file. Get ready for a roller coaster ride through the file system.
I'm all ears. I always assumed file I/O was pretty straightforward. What's the core issue this article highlights?
The core issue is that file I/O, while seemingly simple, is actually incredibly complex and prone to errors. Even experienced developers, working with robust systems like databases and version control, frequently make mistakes that lead to data corruption. It's not just about the file API itself, but the entire stack. The API, the file system, and the underlying disk all present significant challenges.
Wow, that's a pretty sweeping statement. Can you give me a specific example of how this complexity manifests?
Absolutely. Let's take a simple example. Overwriting part of a file. You might think a simple write syscall would suffice, but it's not atomic. A crash during the write could leave the file partially overwritten, leading to corruption. The article walks through a step-by-step process of how to make this atomic, involving undo logs, checksums, and multiple fsync calls, even on seemingly reliable file systems like ext4. It's mind-boggling.
So even with all those precautions, it's still not foolproof? That's scary.
Precisely. The article shows that even with careful implementation, there are still potential failure points. Different file system modes, like data equals journal, data equals ordered, and data equals writeback in ext4, have vastly different behaviors, making it incredibly difficult to write truly portable, safe code. The documentation is often unclear, and even experts struggle to get it right. It's a real mess.
I see. So the article mentions a study that analyzed several pieces of software, including databases and version control systems. What were the findings?
The study found that every single piece of software tested, except for SQLite in one specific mode, had at least one bug related to file I/O. This highlights just how difficult it is to get this right, even for highly skilled developers working on well-tested software. It's not a matter of incompetence. It's a fundamental challenge inherent in the system.
That's astonishing. What about the file system itself? Aren't those supposed to be robust?
Not entirely. The article discusses studies showing that file systems frequently drop errors, especially in the past. While things have improved, there are still code paths where errors are silently ignored, leading to data corruption. Even the seemingly reliable fsync call, intended to flush data to disk, can fail silently in some cases, resulting in unrecoverable data loss. It's a nightmare.
So it's not just the API, it's the file system too? What about the disks themselves?
Yes, the disks. The article points out that the error rates reported by disk manufacturers are often far too optimistic. Observed error rates are significantly higher, sometimes millions of times higher, than what's claimed in datasheets. Even SSDs, often touted as immune to data corruption, are susceptible to errors, especially as they age. Power loss protection, while advertised, is often unreliable. It's a whole chain of potential failures.
This is incredibly depressing. Is there anything we can do to mitigate these risks?
The article suggests using databases instead of files whenever possible, especially for applications where data integrity is critical. SQLite is mentioned as a good lightweight option. It's not a perfect solution, but it offers a higher level of abstraction and built-in mechanisms for data protection. Also, understanding the limitations of the file system and the potential for errors is crucial. We need to be aware of the risks.
So basically, be aware of the inherent fragility of the entire system and use appropriate tools and techniques to mitigate the risks. It's not a simple problem with a simple solution.
Exactly. The article concludes by highlighting that large tech companies invest heavily in ensuring data reliability, but consumer software often lacks these safeguards. The economic incentives are different. It's a systemic problem that requires a multifaceted approach, including better software engineering practices, improved file system design, and perhaps even regulatory changes. It's a complex challenge, but one we need to address.
This has been a truly eye-opening discussion. Thanks for breaking down this complex topic. I'm definitely going to be thinking about file I/O differently from now on.
You're very welcome. And that's exactly the point. Remember, folks, files are fraught with peril. Thanks for tuning in to Tech Bytes and News. Have a great day. And remember to always back up your data. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.